We failed to win in our last three and haven't scored a single goal. Crystal Palace next. We've got Adam Squawker, Dave and Howson on Skype. Adam, why aren't we scoring goals?
I don't know, Sam. I just don't know. It's like we've gone back to the beginning of the season all over again. We're all possession, no end product, no cutting edge in the final third. Against Everton and West Brom, I was sitting there thinking, come on, we're surely going to score. We're going to score. Even at 2-0 down against Everton, I thought we were going to score, but we just lacked that cutting edge in the final third. And I think there's two reasons for that. Michael Carrick has obviously been out. He's been a big influence on the team since he returned. And him being out in these last three games, we've missed him sorely. But not only that, with him going out, it's like the whole team has dropped, like everyone's position has dropped 10 yards backwards. Wayne Rooney's gone deeper. Herrera's gone deeper. And it's upset the rhythm of the team. So, yeah, it's just a couple of things, really. But we need to sort it out quickly.
OK, Dave, we'll come to you because you might have some decent stats for us. Howson, why do you think we aren't scoring any goals?
I think we've been found out tactically. It's a very predictable way to play. And when we do move somebody like Herrera further back to compensate for Carrick not playing, we miss that little bit of ingenuity that we've got in the team, which has been creating chances and creating goals for us. So I think it's a combination of those two, really. And while Carrick, you can't deny the stats that when he came into the team, we started that run of wins. And when he's been out of the team, we've hit a run of losses. You can't deny that. But I don't think he's having as much of a direct impact on the results as people think, except for, as Adam mentioned, everyone's had to be adjusted 10 yards back to accommodate him not playing.
OK, we'll talk about Michael Carrick in a second. But, Squawker Dave, facts. Why aren't we scoring goals? What's going wrong?
I sort of agree with both those points. I think our ball retention recently has been absolutely awful. We had Daley Blind at defensive midfield against Everton. Thought he had a pretty poor game. He was far too playing the balls too sideways. And then against West Brom, it was Rooney and Van Persie that played in central midfield in the second half. They completed two passes inside the West Brom penalty area. It was very poor. And I'd also argue that Angel Di Maria not being in the team, not having that explosive player, he's created twice as many chances he's assisted twice as many goals as any other Man United player this season. He also has created the most amount of chances. He's taken on the most amount of players for Man United this season. Against West Brom, we just looked like we didn't want to take the man on. We only tried it in the first half on 2 occasions. We just don't look like we want to beat the man and then make an opportunity for a teammate. I think that's a big problem for us at the moment.
Not good enough, I suppose. Right, so let's talk about Michael Carrick. Howson mentioned him a minute ago. Adam, is Michael Carrick irreplaceable?
He's not irreplaceable. No, I don't think any player who's Manchester United have moved on from bigger players in the past before. When you look at Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy, even Forlan, Keane. When those players left, everyone was talking about, it's the end of Man United. How they're going to recover? How they're going to move on? So no, I don't buy into that. We can recover from Fergie. We can recover from Carrick. So yeah, he's not irreplaceable, but he is a very good player, and we will need to replace him soon because I think he's got probably a year or two left in him. So we need to bring someone in now. I thought Daley Blind was the answer, but when he's played in DM recently, he hasn't been that good, has he? So,
okay. So Dave, do you think Michael Carrick has become to an extent irreplaceable, or do you think we've got reasonable options for when he's unavailable that don't affect the team too drastically?
I think he is absolutely irreplaceable, especially this season. If you look at the win rates alone, with Michael Carrick, we've won 72% of our games. Compared to without Michael Carrick, we've only won 35% of our games. So that's absolutely massive. What he brings to Man United is that calmness, that control. Everyone just looks a lot happier when he's on the pitch. He's averaged 52 passes per game for Man United this season in the Premier League. Only Daley Blind's managed more per game. So he's a player that really keeps the ball moving around, gets players involved. And I think another reason why he's irreplaceable is because we have a lack of options at central midfield. You're looking at, we need signings in the summer. We need someone that can potentially play in that defensive midfield role when Michael Carrick's not available. We probably still need another combative player to sort of play when Fellaini's maybe not up to stand. And I think that's sort of the reasons that we're looking at Michael Carrick as this sort of godlike character at the moment.
Godlike character. Okay, Stephen Howson, same question. Michael Carrick, irreplaceable? Question mark.
No, he's not irreplaceable. And I think ultimately Daley Blind will replace him. So he's not irreplaceable. I think Blind's still got a little bit of settling in. And I think the players that have played around him since Carrick has been absent haven't quite done their job as well. I do see qualities in Daley Blind's play that lead me to believe he's going to be a better player than Carrick eventually. But right now, Carrick, He's got to play for these last 3 games, I think, and that's the top and bottom of it. However fit or unfit he is.
That's unfair on Michael Carrick, man. I think Michael Carrick's so underrated, and to just say Daley Blind, who hasn't really proven anything yet, we'll go on and better him. Whilst I know why you say that, Hassan, because we've spoken about it before, I think that's unfair to say. Michael Carrick is criminally underrated. He should be ranked up there with some of Europe's best midfielders. And
he's not underrated by me, mate.
No. I know why you're saying that.
I'm looking at his age, and I'm looking what he's done in the game, and I'm looking what Blind has done and what Blind has achieved in the game. And I think ultimately Blind's probably going to retire and be more appreciated than Carrick is. Whether that's right or wrong, for me, Michael Carrick's been better than Steven Gerrard for his entire career. He's certainly won more, and he's certainly suffered in his England career because of the media favouring and all the managers favouring Gerrard. But England would have done a lot better with him and Lampard in the team instead of him and Gerrard in the team. He's a great player.
I'd argue that Daley Blind is probably not going to be the natural successor to Carrick. In my eyes, it's going to be Ander Herrera. I think he's got more to his game, Ander Herrera. You know, he can beat a man, he can turn a man. When he's distributing the ball, it's a lot better than Blind. Blind is far too sideways. You know, you look at that game against Chelsea in that first half, Ander Herrera was absolutely brilliant. Mourinho had to adjust his tactics to deal with, you know, cutting the space off between our centre halves and Ander Herrera because he was, you know, just running the show. So I'd definitely say that Herrera will probably replace Carrick and Blind will probably be our left back, you know, with Shaw. I can't really see Blind sort of moving on his game again. He's a versatile player. He's like a John O'Shea. You know, he can fill a lot of roles, but ultimately I think he's good.
He's well better than that, mate. He's well better than that, Dave. He does have things that he needs to add to his game when we're in possession and going forward. But what I see from him doing defensively, he's such an intelligent player. I see him moving into positions in the way Carrick does before there's a problem, and that's why I think he'll be the natural successor to Carrick.
Okay, right. Let's move on. Howson, you like Michael Carrick, but is he in your team to face Crystal Palace?
He would be if he was fit, but we don't know if he's fit, and I think Louis van Gaal's going to keep him guessing right the way to the end. So let me just open my phone up here so I can get my team. I'm going for De Gea net, obviously. Valencia, Smalling, Blackett, and Shaw as my defence. You know I love that Blackett guy. Blind as my man in the middle. And then a midfield sort of advanced 4 of Januzaj on the right wing, Herrera, Mata as my midfield 2, and I'm throwing a curveball in here of Wilson on the left wing. Just because I want to see him and Januzaj picking the ball up and running at a defence. And I think Herrera and Mata being the 2 players that control the ball in the middle means that the guy that I'm choosing for number 9 is going to get a lot of time on the ball, and he should get some good quality balls played into him, unlike the dross that he has to serve up when Fellaini plays.
It's coming.
Falco up front, bitches!
Right. Dave, what's your team?
Well, I'm going to go, you know, I'm sort of picking my team with Michael Carrick again not being available. So I've gone with De Gea in goal. I want to see Paddington in the team, and where I've sort of put him in is at right back. I think Valencia has looked a bit dodgy defensively in the last few games. He's sort of being found out a bit. He's been exposed. So that's where I've gone with McNair at right back. Smalling, Jones at centre back. I think that combination has been brilliant, and Jones is coming back into the team. I have Blind at left back. Herrera holding midfield, and then I'd have Fellaini and Di Maria in central midfield. Fellaini being combative, you know, winning the headers, winning the tackles, and I want Di Maria in there for the creativity, and sort of combining down that left-hand side with Blind, and I've gone for Ashley on left midfield. I think that triangle of those 3 players could really cause some chaos, and teams are going to have to sort of adapt to 3 players potentially being on that left wing and having to come over and stuff, which will open up space for other players. And I think that's what we're lacking at the moment. We're lacking opening up the space horizontally to sort of, you know, create the chances in the middle in a way. I'd stick Januzaj on the right-hand side because I think Mata, he's played very well again in the big games. He's been absolutely awesome. But then again, in the sort of smaller games against West Brom, he looks like he's coming too short, and he's not really looking like he's turning and then playing the passes forward. They're all sort of going back into midfield and being retained. So that's why I want Januzaj in there. And then I'm going with RVP up front because I think he obviously missed the penalty against West Brom, but he was good in the game. He had 10 shots on goal, created 3 chances. I think he looks sharp again. He looks like a sharp Robert Van Persie. And Rooney sort of doesn't look sharp at the moment. So that's my team. Okay,
Adam, what do you think of
those? I'd like to see Januzaj start. So I'm kind of happy both lads have picked him because he does need some game time. I want to see him given an opportunity at Manchester United next season. I do think Louis van Gaal will keep him here, which may surprise some. But I do think Louis van Gaal sees something in him. Otherwise, he wouldn't still be at the team at the moment. So I do think Januzaj may start this game, if not one of the last 2 games of the season. I think Phil Jones will return to the team, whether rightly or wrongly. Obviously, based on form this season, I don't think he should be anywhere near it. And besides the tricky patch that Paddy McNair is going through at the moment, I think his form overall in the season has been better. But Phil Jones, after him coming back for the under-21s midweek and getting the assistance on, I expect him to see him coming back in. Or I just pray to God. I'm going to pray to God, Allah, Buddha, everyone right now, that I do not, and Cantona, that Robin Van Persie and Wayne Rooney are not in central midfield and Fellaini is not up front. What the hell's all that about?
Yeah. So let's move on to Crystal Palace. Howson, get your spreadsheets out. Who's going to do the damage?
Balassi or Zaha, and no one else, really.
Okay. Dave?
You got Glenn Murray's looked in half-decent form of late. He's scored quite a few little goals. Jedinjak in midfield, an absolute tackling and interception machine. I think he tops the charts for both those stats. So he's the one who's going to be box to box. Has a decent set piece in him. So they're probably players. The two wingers that have been mentioned before, they're the ones we've got to look out for on the break. That right hand side. If Valencia plays right back, we're going to look at Crystal Palace's left hand side going forward, whether it's Balassi or Saha with their switching. Got to be cautious of that. But then they're probably the main players, I'd say.
He's not going to be box to box, is he, against us? He's going to be his own box to the edge of the D, really. The way we play.
Be careful what you say at the moment.
That's
all I got to say. Like, Crystal Palace, I think Yannick Balassi is a very good player, and I think he's the main one to watch. I remember watching Palace before we signed Zaha and thinking Balassi looked better than Zaha then. So I think Balassi's one to watch. Obviously, Zaha playing against us, got it all to prove. He's probably going to score a hat-trick or something stupid like that, isn't he? Jedinak as well, as Dave said. But personally, I think we've just got to be careful ourselves. If we play our game and we get back to the way we were before, including the Chelsea game, we'll be all right.
Okay.
I'll take a draw, though, to be honest, right now.
All right, well, it's time to put predictions in. Howson, what do you reckon?
3-1 with a little bit more pace injected into how we play. We'll blow them away.
Okay. Adam?
I said I'd take a draw, but I say 2-1 United.
Squawker Dave?
1-0 United, I reckon. Van Persie winner.
Okay, I'm going 2-0. That is it. Guys, thanks for joining us on Skype. If you've been watching, you might have seen there's some people's opinions and question stuff going across the bottom of the screen. You can get involved in that too. Just add us on Skype's FTDevils and send us an IM.
Get involved in the house and abuse as well at the bottom. There's always loads of that. You can decide.
Get your comments in below.
Call him whatever you like.
Have a great week.